Welcome, dear listener, to Sleepless Survivors. Tonight, we invite you to drift into peaceful slumber as we explore one of Earth's most mysterious and captivating frontiers, Antarctica. Beneath miles of ancient ice lies a landscape that has captured human imagination for centuries. Close your eyes now, let your breathing slow, and allow your mind to wander through frozen corridors of time as we uncover the secrets of what may lie hidden beneath the world's most remote continent. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort as we begin our journey to the bottom of the world. Part 1. The Frozen Realm, Antarctica. The very name conjures images of endless white horizons, biting winds that could freeze exposed skin in minutes, and isolation beyond human comprehension. This continent, larger than Europe, remains Earth's last true wilderness. But tonight, we're not concerned with what lies on the surface. Tonight we descend beneath the ice, into realms where sunlight has not penetrated for millions of years. Let your body relax completely as we travel back in time, back before the ice existed at all. 200 million years ago, Antarctica was not the frozen wasteland we know today. It was part of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana, connected to South America, Africa, India, and Australia. The climate was temperate, even warm in many regions. Forests stretched across landscapes that are now buried under ice sheets 2 miles thick. Rivers carved through valleys. Animals roamed freely across terrain that would one day become the most inhospitable place on Earth. Picture it now in your mind's eye. Lush vegetation. The calls of prehistoric creatures echoing through primordial forests. A world utterly alien to the Antarctica we know, yet occupying the exact same space on our planet. As you breathe slowly and deeply, imagine standing in one of these ancient forests. Feel the warmth on your skin. Hear the rustling of leaves overhead. This is Antarctica before the freeze, before the great transformation that would hide its secrets beneath an impenetrable shield of ice. Around 50 million years ago, the climate began to shift. Continental drift separated Antarctica from South America, creating the Drake Passage. Ocean currents changed. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current formed, isolating the continent in a ring of cold water. Temperatures dropped. Snow accumulated, compressing into ice year after year, century after century, millennium after millennium. The ice grew thicker. 100 feet, 1,000 feet, 1 mile, 2 miles. Everything that existed on the surface was gradually buried, preserved in a frozen time capsule. The forests, the valleys, the mountains, all hidden from view, locked away beneath an ever-growing shield of ice. Let your eyes grow heavy as you contemplate the weight of that ice, the pressure of all those years, all that frozen water pressing down upon the landscape below. Today, Antarctica contains 90% of Earth's ice and 70% of its fresh water. If all that ice were to melt, global sea levels would rise by nearly 200 feet. Cities would vanish beneath the waves. Coastlines would be redrawn. The world would be transformed. But the ice remains, and beneath it, mysteries persist. Part 2. The Subglacial Landscape. Modern technology has allowed us to peer through the ice using radar, seismic sensors, and other instruments. What scientists have discovered beneath Antarctica's frozen surface is extraordinary. An entire hidden landscape exists down there, untouched by human eyes. Feel yourself drifting now, floating downward through layers of compacted ice, travelling back through time as you descend. There are mountain ranges beneath the ice, some rivaling the Alps in size. The Gamburtsev Mountains, discovered in the 1950s, stretch for 700 miles across East Antarctica. These peaks rise to heights of nearly 9,000 feet, yet they're completely buried beneath the ice sheet. Nobody has ever seen them directly. They exist in perpetual darkness, entombed for millions of years. How peaceful they must be, those mountains. Silent, still, waiting. There are valleys beneath the ice as well, deep trenches carved by ancient glaciers. Some of these valleys extend far below sea level, creating vast subglacial basins. The Bentley Subglacial Trench plunges to depths of more than 8,000 feet below sea level, making it one of the lowest points on Earth's land surface. Imagine descending into one of these valleys now. The ice walls rising impossibly high on either side, the darkness absolute. the silence complete. Let this image guide you deeper into relaxation. Most remarkably, there is water beneath the ice, liquid water. Despite temperatures that should freeze it solid, liquid water exists in lakes and rivers beneath Antarctica's ice sheet. The pressure from miles of ice above prevents the water from freezing. Heat from Earth's interior keeps it liquid. These subglacial lakes have been isolated from the surface world for millions of years. Lake Vostok is the largest known subglacial lake, roughly the size of Lake Ontario. It lies beneath more than 2 miles of ice in East Antarctica. The lake is over 15 million years old, sealed off from the atmosphere and sunlight for time periods that exceed human comprehension. What might exist in those ancient waters? What forms of life might have adapted to such extreme conditions? Scientists have detected over 400 subglacial lakes beneath Antarctica. They are connected by rivers that flow through channels carved in the bedrock. Water moves through this hidden hydrological system, transferring nutrients and potentially life forms from one isolated ecosystem to another. Breathe deeply and slowly. Imagine drifting in these dark waters, suspended in time, cut off from the world above. In some of these lakes, scientists have found microbial life, bacteria and other microorganisms that have evolved in isolation, adapted to live in permanent darkness, under immense pressure, in near freezing temperatures. These organisms derive energy from chemical processes rather than photosynthesis. They represent a form of life utterly different from what exists on the surface. Some scientists believe these subglacial ecosystems could serve as analogues for potential life on other worlds. Jupiter's moon Europa is covered in ice, with a liquid ocean beneath. Saturn's moon Enceladus has similar characteristics. If life can exist beneath Antarctic ice, perhaps it could exist beneath the ice of these distant moons as well. Let your mind wander to these possibilities as you sink deeper into rest. Life in darkness, life in isolation, life finding a way against all odds. Part 3. Ancient Maps and Cartographic Mysteries. As you relax further, we turn our attention to one of the most intriguing aspects of Antarctic mystery: ancient maps that appear to show the continent before it was covered in ice. The Piri Reis Map, created in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral and cartographer, shows what appears to be the coastline of Antarctica. The remarkable aspect of this map is that it depicts coastal features that are currently buried beneath ice. Modern seismic surveys of the bedrock beneath the ice sheet have revealed coastline shapes that closely match portions of the Piri Reis Map. How could a map created in 1513 show features that have been hidden beneath ice for millions of years? The map itself notes that it was compiled from approximately 20 source maps, some of which dated to the 4th century BC or earlier. Piri Reis stated that some of his source materials came from the time of Alexander the Great. Let this mystery wash over you like a gentle wave as you drift closer to sleep. The Orontius Phineus map, created in 1531, also depicts Antarctica in remarkable detail. It shows mountains, rivers and coastlines on a continent that Europeans would not officially discover until 1820. The continent is shown free of ice, with detailed topographical features. Some researchers have suggested these maps were based on even older source materials, perhaps from civilizations that existed before the ice-covered Antarctica. Others propose more conventional explanations, suggesting the map makers were simply depicting an imagined southern continent, or that the resemblance to Antarctica is coincidental. The debate continues, but the mystery remains. How did cartographers 500 years ago create maps showing features of Antarctica that we have only recently confirmed using modern technology? Close your eyes and picture these ancient maps, drawn by hand with careful precision, hinting at knowledge that seems impossible for their time. The Boache map, published in 1754 by French geographer Philippe Boache, shows Antarctica as 2 large islands separated by a waterway. This was 100 years before the continent was properly explored. Modern surveys have revealed that if the ice were removed, Antarctica would indeed consist of 2 large land masses separated by water, exactly as shown on Boache's map. Again we must ask, how did 18th century cartographers know this? Perhaps there were earlier explorers who reached Antarctica during warmer periods. Perhaps there were ancient civilizations with advanced seafaring capabilities that we have yet to fully understand. Perhaps there are explanations we have not yet considered. Let these questions drift through your mind without urgency or concern. There is no need to solve these mysteries tonight. Simply allow them to be, as you allow yourself to relax more completely. Part 4. The Theory of Ancient Civilizations. Now we enter the realm of speculation, of theories that exist at the boundary between science and imagination. Take another deep breath, and allow your mind to explore these possibilities without judgment. Some researchers have proposed that an ancient civilization existed in Antarctica before the ice covered the continent. They point to the maps we have discussed, to certain geological anomalies, and to myths and legends from cultures around the world that speak of advanced ancient societies. The theory suggests that during the last ice age, which ended approximately 12,000 years ago, global climate conditions were different than today. While much of the northern hemisphere was covered in ice, Antarctica may have been more temperate. A civilization could have developed there, perhaps reaching levels of sophistication before being forced to abandon their homeland as the ice advanced. Imagine such a civilization now. Cities built in valleys that are now buried. Temples constructed on mountainsides that have not seen sunlight for thousands of years. A culture that rose, flourished, and ultimately vanished beneath an unstoppable tide of ice. Feel yourself becoming heavier, more relaxed, as you picture these ancient cities in your mind's eye. Proponents of this theory point to the Piri Reis Map as evidence that some knowledge of Antarctica's ice-free geography was preserved and passed down through generations, eventually making its way into the hands of medieval cartographers. They suggest that survivors of this Antarctic civilization may have migrated to other parts of the world, bringing their knowledge and culture with them. Some have connected this theory to the legend of Atlantis, the advanced civilization described by Plato that supposedly sank beneath the waves. Could Antarctica be Atlantis? Could the story of a continent that vanished beneath water actually be a distorted memory of a continent that vanished beneath ice? Let these ideas float through your consciousness like clouds drifting across a peaceful sky. The theory remains highly controversial and is not accepted by mainstream archaeology or geology. Critics point out that there is no direct physical evidence of such a civilization. No artifacts have been recovered from beneath the ice. No ruins have been definitively identified. The extreme difficulty of conducting archaeological excavations beneath 2 miles of ice means we may never know for certain what lies hidden there. Yet the mystery persists. The questions remain. And in the space between what we know and what we imagine, stories take root and flourish. As you sink deeper into relaxation, allow yourself to imagine what it would be like to discover such a civilization. To drill through the ice and find structures waiting in the darkness below. To recover artifacts that rewrite human history. To learn that we are not the first advanced civilization to walk this earth. Part 5. Underground caverns and geothermal activity. Let us turn now to features beneath Antarctica that we know exist with certainty. Vast caverns carved by geothermal heat. Antarctica is not geologically dead. Beneath the ice, volcanic activity continues. Mount Erebus, one of Antarctica's active volcanoes, has been erupting continuously since 1972. Heat from this and other volcanic sources creates pockets of warmth beneath the ice. Geothermal heat melts the ice from below, creating caverns and caves. Some of these spaces are enormous, large enough to contain cathedrals. Warm air rises through these caverns, creating environments where the temperature can reach comfortable levels despite the frozen wasteland above. Picture yourself now in one of these caves. The ice ceiling glows with a soft blue light. The air is surprisingly warm. Liquid water drips from formations above, creating pools on the cavern floor. This is a hidden world, isolated from the surface, existing in its own quiet reality. Scientists have discovered that some of these geothermal caves contain life. Mosses, algae, and other simple organisms grow in the warmer, wetter conditions. DNA analysis has revealed numerous species of bacteria and fungi. Some of these organisms are unique, found nowhere else on Earth. Let your breathing match the slow drip of water in these caves. Steady, rhythmic, peaceful. In 2017, researchers exploring caves on Mount Erebus found evidence of complex ecosystems. The caves, warmed by volcanic heat, maintain temperatures up to 77 degrees Fahrenheit despite the Antarctic winter raging outside. Scientists believe these caves could potentially harbour more advanced forms of life, possibly even animals that have adapted to these unique conditions. The full extent of Antarctica's cave systems remains unknown. The continent is vast, and only a tiny fraction has been thoroughly explored. There could be thousands of these geothermal caves, each one a potential oasis of life in the frozen desert. Imagine exploring these caves yourself, moving through passageways carved by heat and water, discovering pools that have existed in darkness for thousands of years, finding life where logic suggests nothing should survive. Feel your body growing heavier as you contemplate these hidden sanctuaries beneath the ice. Some researchers have speculated that larger animals could potentially survive in these cave systems. While no evidence of such creatures has been found, the possibility cannot be entirely ruled out. The caves are connected to the subglacial lakes through cracks and channels in the ice. A theoretical ecosystem could exist, with microorganisms at the bottom of the food chain supporting more complex life forms. It is an appealing thought, is it not, that beneath the most barren continent on Earth, life has found secret havens where it can not only survive but thrive. Let this thought comfort you as you drift closer to sleep. Life endures, life adapts, life finds a way. Part 6. The Nazi Connection. Now we address one of the more unusual chapters in Antarctic history, one that has spawned numerous theories and legends. Feel free to let your mind wander as we explore this strange historical footnote. In 1938 and 1939, Nazi Germany conducted expeditions to Antarctica. The official purpose was to scout locations for a whaling station and to claim territory for the Third Reich. The Germans named their claimed territory New Swabia and dropped thousands of metal swastika markers across the region to assert their sovereignty. Breathe slowly as we examine this peculiar moment in history. Aircraft from the expedition conducted aerial surveys, taking thousands of photographs of the Antarctic landscape. Some of these photographs showed features that seemed unusual, formations that did not appear entirely natural. After World War II ended, rumours began to circulate about what the Germans had really been doing in Antarctica. Some theories suggested the Nazis had discovered something beneath the ice. Others claimed they had established secret bases in the Antarctic interior. The most extreme versions of these theories proposed that advanced technology was being developed in underground facilities, or that the Nazis had found entrances to vast subterranean cave systems that could serve as refuges. Allow these stories to drift through your mind like dreams, neither believing nor disbelieving, simply observing. In 1946 and 1947, the United States launched Operation High Jump, a large-scale Antarctic expedition officially described as a research mission and military training exercise. The operation involved over 4,000 personnel, 13 ships and numerous aircraft. It was the largest Antarctic expedition ever undertaken. Admiral Richard Byrd led the operation. In interviews after returning, Byrd made cryptic statements about Antarctica representing strategic importance and potential threats. These vague comments fueled speculation about what had really been discovered during the expedition. Some theorists connected Operation High Jump to the Nazi activities in Antarctica, suggesting the Americans were searching for secret German bases. Others proposed the expedition had discovered something unexpected, something that required a large military response. Official records indicate that Operation High Jump was cut short, ending earlier than planned due to unexpected weather conditions and accidents that resulted in several deaths. What actually occurred remains partially classified, with some documents still unavailable to the public decades later. Let the mystery of these events wash over you without tension. History often holds secrets, and sometimes those secrets enhance rather than diminish the beauty of not knowing. Did the Nazis discover something in Antarctica? Was Operation High Jump really just a training exercise? What did Admiral Byrd see that made him speak of strategic importance and potential threats? We may never have complete answers, and perhaps that is acceptable. Perhaps the questions themselves are more interesting than any answers could be. Feel yourself relaxing more completely, unburdened by the need to solve these historical puzzles. Part 7. Modern Discoveries and Scientific Mysteries. Let us return now to confirmed scientific discoveries, to things we know exist beneath Antarctica's ice, waiting to be fully explored and understood. In recent years, scientists have made increasingly sophisticated maps of Antarctica's subglacial terrain. Using ice-penetrating radar and gravitational sensors, researchers have identified numerous anomalies that deserve further investigation. One of the most significant discoveries is the detection of a massive impact crater beneath the ice in Wilkes Land. The crater measures approximately 300 miles in diameter, making it one of the largest impact structures ever found on Earth. Scientists believe an asteroid or comet created this crater more than 250 million years ago. Picture that impact in your mind. The asteroid streaking through the atmosphere, the unimaginable explosion, the reshaping of the landscape on a continental scale. The Wilkes Land crater is located near the site of another geological anomaly, a massive gravitational anomaly known as the Wilkes Land Anomaly, or MASCON. This region shows evidence of a huge concentration of dense material beneath the surface. Some researchers have suggested this could be the remains of the impactor itself, buried deep beneath the ice and rock. The impact that created this crater occurred during the Permian-Triassic boundary, a period when Earth experienced its worst mass extinction. More than 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species vanished. Some scientists have proposed that the Wilkes Land impact could have been a contributing factor to this extinction event, though this remains debated. Breathe deeply and slowly as you contemplate the vast timescales involved. Hundreds of millions of years, empires of life rising and falling. The Earth itself transformed repeatedly through epochs we can barely imagine. Another fascinating discovery involves magnetic anomalies detected beneath East Antarctica. These anomalies suggest the presence of large deposits of metallic ore or unusual geological formations. The exact nature of these deposits remains unknown, hidden beneath miles of ice that make direct investigation extremely difficult. In 2018, scientists announced the discovery of a massive canyon system beneath Antarctica's ice. The canyon is over 600 miles long and reaches depths of nearly a mile. It may have been carved by rivers when Antarctica was ice-free, or by the movement of ice itself over millions of years. Let your mind wander through this hidden canyon, following its twists and turns, descending into depths that have known only darkness for countless centuries. Researchers have also identified hundreds of lakes beneath the ice, connected by a complex system of rivers. Water flows through these systems, sometimes covering vast distances. These rivers can suddenly release large volumes of water, causing the ice above to shift and crack. Understanding these subglacial hydrological systems is crucial for predicting how Antarctica's ice sheet might respond to climate change. In some regions, the ice is thinning. Warm ocean water is flowing beneath ice shelves, melting them from below. The Pine Island Glacier and Thwaites Glacier are of particular concern. These massive glaciers act as dams, holding back vast quantities of inland ice. If they collapse, sea levels could rise dramatically. But tonight we're not concerned with such worries. Tonight we simply observe, noting these discoveries with calm curiosity as you drift ever closer to sleep. Scientists continue to explore Antarctica using increasingly advanced technology. Autonomous submarines navigate beneath ice shelves, collecting data from waters no human has entered. Drones fly over the interior, surveying regions too dangerous for manned expeditions. Satellites peer through the ice using various wavelengths of radiation, revealing details of the hidden landscape. Each discovery raises new questions. Each answer leads to deeper mysteries. This is the nature of exploration, the endless frontier of human curiosity. Let yourself float on this sea of questions, unburdened by the need for immediate answers. Part 8. Theories of hidden entrances. Some researchers and enthusiasts have proposed that entrances to subglacial cavern systems might exist, providing access to the hidden world beneath Antarctica. Feel free to let your imagination wander as we explore this possibility. The theory suggests that in some locations, geological features might create openings through the ice. Volcanic heat could melt channels to the surface. Geothermal hotspots might maintain ice-free areas, where caves or crevasses provide access to deeper systems. Picture such an entrance now. A dark opening in a cliff of ice, steam rising from the warmth within. The threshold between the frozen surface world and the mysterious realm below. Some have pointed to satellite images showing dark areas or unusual formations in Antarctic ice, suggesting these could be entrance points to subterranean spaces. Others have noted areas where temperature readings seem anomalous, potentially indicating warmth from below. Critics argue that any such openings would be obvious, and and would have been documented by the numerous research stations and expeditions that have explored Antarctica. The continent is not as isolated as it once was. Thousands of scientists work there each year. Satellites constantly monitor the region. An obvious entrance to a vast cave system would not remain hidden. Yet the theorists persist. They suggest that entrances might be located in particularly remote regions, or that they might be obscured by shifting ice and snow. They point to the vastness of Antarctica and note that much of it remains unexplored in detail. Allow these possibilities to exist in your mind without the need to judge their likelihood. Imagination is a gift, and tonight we give ourselves permission to imagine freely. Some stories speak of hidden valleys in Antarctica, places where warm air from geothermal sources creates ice-free oases. In these theoretical valleys, vegetation might grow and animals might live, shielded from the brutal Antarctic weather by surrounding ice cliffs. The concept is not entirely far-fetched. We know geothermal caves exist. We know some of these caves support life. The question is whether any of these warmer areas extend to the surface, creating the hidden valleys of legend. Admiral Byrd, in his writings and interviews, spoke of seeing green land during one of his polar expeditions. He described flying over areas that appeared to have vegetation, which seemed impossible given the location and climate. Skeptics suggest he was disoriented, or that his instruments were malfunctioning. Believers suggest he glimpsed one of these hidden valleys. Feel your body sinking deeper into your bed as you picture these secret valleys. Imagine standing in such a place, surrounded by ice cliffs, yet feeling warmth on your face and seeing green growth at your feet. A pocket of life in the world's most lifeless continent. Whether such places exist remains a matter of speculation and hope, but the human imagination is powerful, and the desire to believe in hidden sanctuaries and secret worlds is ancient and deep. Let that desire carry you now toward a restful sleep, where your own hidden worlds await in dreams. Part 9. Extraterrestrial Theories. We now venture into territory that is purely speculative, exploring theories that suggest Antarctica's mysteries might have origins beyond Earth. Allow these ideas to drift through your consciousness, like stars moving slowly across the night sky. Some researchers have proposed that anomalies beneath Antarctic ice could be related to extraterrestrial visitation. The theories range from ancient alien bases to crashed spacecraft buried beneath millennia of accumulated ice. The argument proceeds as follows. Antarctica has been covered in ice for millions of years. If an extraterrestrial craft crashed or landed on the continent before the ice accumulated, or if a base was established during an ice-free period, it would now be buried and preserved beneath the ice sheet. Breathe slowly and deeply as we examine this unusual possibility. Proponents point to magnetic anomalies and unusual radar returns from beneath the ice, suggesting these could indicate artificial structures or metallic debris. They note that the extreme cold of Antarctica would preserve any such materials perfectly, maintaining them in pristine condition despite the passage of immense time. Some theories connect supposed alien bases in Antarctica to reports of UFO sightings in the region. Over the years, various individuals have reported seeing unusual lights or objects in Antarctic skies. While most of these can likely be explained by natural phenomena, unusual ice formations, or misidentification of conventional aircraft, believers suggest some might represent genuine anomalies. Let these ideas float through your mind without attachment, like clouds reflecting the colours of sunset. One particularly elaborate theory suggests that Antarctica is home to a secret international agreement regarding extraterrestrial contact. According to this theory, various governments know about alien presence in Antarctica, but have agreed to keep it secret while cooperatively studying whatever has been found there. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, designated Antarctica as a scientific preserve and banned military activity on the continent. Some theorists suggest this treaty was really designed to control access to alien technology, or to prevent conflicts over extraterrestrial discoveries. The truth is almost certainly more mundane. The Antarctic Treaty was primarily a Cold War agreement designed to prevent the Soviet Union and United States from militarizing the continent. It has been largely successful in keeping Antarctica dedicated to peaceful scientific research. But the alternative interpretation persists in certain circles, appealing to those who believe in government conspiracies and hidden knowledge. Feel yourself growing drowsier as you consider these ideas. There is no need to accept or reject them. Simply let them be. existing as possibilities in the infinite landscape of what might be. Another theory suggests that some of the subglacial lakes might contain life forms of extraterrestrial origin. Since these lakes have been isolated for millions of years, any life within them evolved in complete isolation from surface life. If microorganisms of alien origin had somehow been introduced to these lakes in the distant past, perhaps through meteorite impacts, they might have survived and evolved over the millennia. This idea is not entirely absurd. We know that microorganisms can survive in space for extended periods. Bacteria have been found living on the exterior of the International Space Station. Panspermia, the theory that life might spread between planets on meteorites, is taken seriously by some scientists. However, DNA analysis of organisms found in Antarctic subglacial lakes shows they are clearly related to other Earth life. They share the same basic genetic code and biochemistry. No evidence of truly alien biology has been discovered. Still, the lakes remain largely unexplored. Only a few have been sampled. Hundreds more wait beneath the ice, their secrets intact. Let your imagination explore these dark waters now, searching for strange forms of life, for answers to questions we have not yet learned to ask. Part 10. The Hollow Earth Connection. Some of the most exotic theories about Antarctica involve the ancient idea of a hollow Earth. As you sink deeper into relaxation, let us explore this unusual concept with open curiosity. The hollow Earth theory proposes that our planet is not solid throughout, but contains vast interior spaces, perhaps even a habitable inner world with its own sun and civilizations. While modern science has thoroughly disproved this idea through seismology and our understanding of planetary formation, it persists in alternative circles and continues to capture imaginations. Antarctica features prominently in hollow Earth theories. Some proponents claim the South Pole contains an opening leading to the inner Earth. They point to early explorer accounts that mention unusual compass behaviour and strange atmospheric phenomena near the pole. Picture this imagined opening now, a massive circular aperture in the ice, descending into warm depths, a gateway between the surface world and the mythical realm within. Admiral Byrd appears in these theories as well. Some interpret his cryptic statements about seeing Greenland and references to the strategic importance of polar regions as veiled descriptions of discovering an entrance to the inner Earth. His alleged diary, of questionable authenticity, describes flying beyond the pole into a land of mountains, forests, and strange creatures. Mainstream historians and scientists dismiss these interpretations entirely. Byrd's documented journeys are well recorded and contain no evidence of anything resembling an inner Earth. The supposed diary is almost certainly a fabrication created decades after his death, yet the stories persist, appealing to something deep in the human psyche. The desire for hidden worlds, the hope that mysteries remain, the wish that the Earth might be more magical and strange than our instruments and equations suggest. Let yourself float on these dreams without concern for their reality. Tonight, truth and fiction can coexist peacefully in the space between waking and sleep. The Hollow Earth theory connects to other legends and myths from around the world. Many cultures have stories of underground realms, of cities beneath the surface, of peoples who dwell in secret caverns. The Buddhist concept of Agartha, the Greek underworld, the Native American stories of emergence from the earth, all these share common themes. Perhaps these myths reflect ancient knowledge of actual cave systems. Perhaps they are purely symbolic, representing psychological journeys into the unconscious. Perhaps they are simply stories, told for entertainment and meaning with no literal truth behind them. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they point to something real that we have forgotten or not yet rediscovered. Feel your breathing slow further, your body growing heavy as you contemplate these possibilities. Modern Hollow Earth proponents sometimes incorporate ideas about advanced technology and UFOs, suggesting that the inner Earth civilization has developed capabilities beyond our own. They propose that some UFO sightings actually represent craft emerging from or returning to Hollow Earth bases, with Antarctica serving as one of the primary access points. These theories blend science fiction, mythology, conspiracy thinking, and wishful imagination into an elaborate narrative that exists entirely outside mainstream scientific acceptance. Yet they persist, passed through books and websites, discussed in forums, believed by thousands who find them more appealing than conventional understanding. There is something almost touching about this, is there not? The refusal to accept that Earth has been fully mapped and explored. the insistence that mysteries remain, that magic might be real, that the world is stranger than we have been told. Let that sense of wonder carry you now towards sleep, where all things are possible and mysteries await around every corner. Part 11. Research Station. Mysteries. Let us turn our attention to the very real research stations that dot Antarctica's landscape, and to the strange experiences people have reported from these isolated outposts. Over 50 research stations operate in Antarctica, maintained by countries around the world. These facilities house scientists studying climate, geology, biology, astronomy, and numerous other fields. Life at these stations is challenging. The isolation is profound. The darkness of Antarctic winter lasts for months. The cold is dangerous. Psychological stress is significant. In such an environment, strange experiences become more common. People report unusual dreams, auditory hallucinations, feelings of presence when alone. Some of this can be attributed to isolation, sensory deprivation, and psychological stress. But some reports are more difficult to explain. Feel yourself settling more deeply into comfort as we explore these mysteries. At Russia's Vostok Station, built above the massive subglacial Lake Vostok, researchers have reported unusual phenomena. Strange lights in the sky, mysterious sounds emanating from the ice, equipment malfunctions that seem to have no technical explanation. Some of these reports may be exaggerated or apocryphal. Research station legends grow in the telling, embellished with each retelling. But they reflect the genuine strangeness of living above a lake that has been sealed beneath the ice for millions of years, in one of the most isolated locations on Earth. Imagine being stationed at Vostok, knowing that beneath your feet, separated by miles of ice, lies a body of water larger than any lake in North America, knowing that this water has not felt sunlight or wind for longer than the human species has existed, knowing that something lives in that water, organisms adapted to conditions utterly alien to surface life. How could such knowledge not affect your dreams? How could you not feel strange presences in the long Antarctic night? Let these images guide you deeper into drowsiness. At Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, built directly over the South Pole, personnel have reported odd experiences related to navigation and orientation. Compasses behave strangely at the pole. Time zones become meaningless. The sun circles the horizon without setting for 6 months, then disappears for the next 6 months. The disorientation can be profound. Some researchers have reported feeling that the station exists outside normal space and time, that the usual rules of reality bend slightly at Earth's axis of rotation. These are likely psychological responses to the genuinely unusual physical environment, but they speak to something deep about how place affects consciousness. British research stations have their own legends, stories of explorers who vanished without trace, accounts of strange sounds in the ice, tales of equipment recording data that makes no sense, showing readings that should be impossible. Again, most of these stories probably have mundane explanations or are simply false, but they have become part of Antarctic lore, stories told in the long darkness, passed between research teams, growing with each telling. Let yourself drift now on these stories like a boat on gentle waters, moving slowly toward the shore of sleep. The psychological impact of Antarctic winters should not be underestimated. During the winter months, research stations are completely cut off from the outside world. No planes can fly in, no ships can reach the coast. Medical evacuation is impossible. Whatever happens, the personnel must deal with it themselves until spring returns. In such conditions, minor interpersonal conflicts can escalate. Mental health issues become more serious. The darkness and isolation press on the mind. It is no wonder that unusual experiences are reported, that people see and hear things at the edge of perception. The human mind was not designed for such extreme environments. We are creatures of moderate climates, of sunlight and seasons, of social connection. Antarctica pushes human psychology to its limits, yet people continue to go there, drawn by scientific curiosity, by the challenge, by the strange beauty of that frozen world. They endure the hardships and return with stories that blend fact and interpretation, observation and imagination. These stories become part of the mythology of Antarctica, adding layers of human experience to the physical mysteries of the continent itself. Part 12. Climate Change and Future Revelations. As you relax more completely, let us consider what the future might reveal about Antarctica's secrets. The climate is changing. Antarctica is warming, though not as rapidly as the Arctic. Ice shelves are breaking apart. Glaciers are accelerating their flow toward the sea. The ice sheet is slowly shrinking. If this trend continues, Antarctica will gradually reveal what it has hidden for so long. Features currently buried beneath miles of ice will emerge. The subglacial lakes will be exposed. The valleys and mountains will become visible. The landscape that existed millions of years ago will return. Picture this transformation occurring over centuries, the ice slowly retreating, dark rock appearing where pure white once stretched to the horizon, water flowing where ice once pressed down, life returning to a continent that has been sterile for epochs. What will we discover as Antarctica's secrets are revealed? Will we find evidence of ancient civilizations? Will we uncover ruins from forgotten peoples? Will we discover artifacts that rewrite human history? Probably not. Most likely we will find only geological features, interesting but not revolutionary. Ancient riverbeds, mountain ranges, evidence of climatic shifts, the natural history of a continent preserved in stone and ice. But there is a chance, however small, that something more awaits. A chance that the ice has preserved something unexpected. A chance that Antarctica holds answers to questions we have not yet asked. Let this possibility exist in your mind without urgency. A distant light on a far horizon. Some scientists speculate about what ecosystems might develop if Antarctica becomes ice-free. Plants and animals from South America, carried by wind and ocean currents, could colonize the newly exposed land. Within a few thousand years, Antarctic valleys could be filled with vegetation again, hosting complex ecosystems. This transformation would be both fascinating and tragic. Fascinating because we would witness the birth of entirely new ecosystems. Tragic because it would signal the loss of Antarctica as we know it, and would come with catastrophic sea level rise affecting billions of people. We hope such a dramatic transformation can be avoided. We hope humanity can stabilize the climate before Antarctica loses too much ice. But the future remains uncertain. Whatever happens, Antarctica will continue to be a place of mystery and wonder. Even fully mapped and explored, it will retain its power to inspire awe. Breathe deeply now, feeling gratitude for this frozen wilderness at the bottom of the world. Part 13. Microbial Worlds. Let us return once more to the confirmed existence of life beneath Antarctic ice, to the microbial ecosystems that thrive in conditions that seem utterly inhospitable. The organisms living in subglacial lakes and geothermal caves represent some of Earth's most extreme life forms. They survive without sunlight, deriving energy from chemical processes. They endure pressures that would crush most organisms. They have adapted to near-freezing temperatures that slow biological processes to a crawl. Yet they persist. They reproduce. They evolve. Picture these microorganisms now. Single-celled bacteria, smaller than the eye can see, carrying out their chemical processes in eternal darkness beneath miles of ice, living their entire existence in this hidden realm, unaware of the surface world above, unaware of the sun, unaware of anything beyond their immediate chemical environment. What is their experience like? Do they have any form of awareness, however primitive? Do they sense their environment in ways we cannot imagine? Or are they purely chemical machines, reacting to stimuli with no inner experience at all? Feel yourself drifting towards sleep as you contemplate these fundamental questions about the nature of life and consciousness. These subglacial ecosystems operate on chemical energy from the breakdown of rocks and minerals. Chemosynthetic bacteria form the base of the food chain, if it can be called that. Other bacteria feed on these bacteria. Some organisms consume dead cells and metabolic products. A complete, if simple, ecosystem exists without any input from the sun. This is important beyond Antarctica. It demonstrates that life does not require sunlight. Ecosystems can exist based entirely on geochemical energy. This has profound implications for the search for life on other worlds. Europa, a moon of Jupiter, has a global ocean beneath its icy surface. Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, has liquid water beneath its ice as well. If these moons have geothermal activity, they could support chemosynthetic ecosystems like those beneath Antarctic ice. The discovery of life in Antarctic subglacial environments has thus expanded our understanding of where life might exist in the universe. The habitable zone is larger than we thought. Life is more tenacious than we imagined. Let this knowledge comfort you. Life persists. Life adapts. Life finds purchase in the most unexpected places. In 2013, scientists drilled through half a mile of ice to reach Lake Whillans, a subglacial lake in West Antarctica. The water they retrieved contained nearly 4,000 species of bacteria and archaea. The lake, sealed from the surface for thousands of years, hosted a thriving microbial ecosystem. This was direct confirmation of what many had suspected. Life exists throughout Antarctica's subglacial environment. Every lake, every pocket of water, every film of moisture on rock surfaces potentially hosts living organisms. The total biomass of subglacial life in Antarctica is unknown, but could be substantial. Spread across 400 lakes and countless smaller water pockets, these microbial communities might represent a significant reservoir of Earth's biosphere. Breathe slowly and imagine this hidden biosphere. A parallel world beneath the ice, as complex and alive as any jungle, but operating at microscopic scale and geological pace. Some of the bacteria found in these environments are unlike anything found elsewhere on Earth. They possess unique genetic sequences, unique metabolic pathways, unique adaptations. They have evolved in isolation for so long that they have become distinct branches on the tree of life. Each discovery of a new species in these environments adds to our knowledge of biology, of evolution, of life's possibilities. Antarctica's subglacial realm is not just a physical frontier, but a biological one, offering insights that could reshape our understanding of life itself. Let this sense of discovery wash over you now, the excitement of knowing there is still so much to learn, so many mysteries still waiting. Part 14. The Ice Memory. The ice itself holds memories. In the compressed layers of Antarctic ice sheets, we can read Earth's climatic history going back hundreds of thousands of years. Each year's snowfall creates a layer. As the snow compresses into ice, it traps air bubbles. These bubbles contain samples of the ancient atmosphere. By drilling ice cores and analysing these bubbles, scientists can measure past atmospheric composition with precision. Feel yourself sinking deeper as we explore these frozen archives. The longest ice cores retrieved from Antarctica date back 800,000 years. They allow us to trace carbon dioxide levels, temperature variations, and volcanic eruptions across nearly 1 million years of Earth history. The data reveals a clear pattern of ice ages and warm periods. Temperature and carbon dioxide levels rise and fall together, locked in a complex dance driven by orbital variations and feedback mechanisms. The current rapid rise in carbon dioxide is unprecedented in this entire record. But tonight, we are not here to worry about climate change. Tonight, we simply observe the wonder that ice can preserve so much information, that frozen water can hold memories for millennia. Picture an ice core being extracted from deep within the ice sheet, a cylinder of frozen time containing layer upon layer of compressed snow, each layer a year, each bubble a captured moment of ancient atmosphere. Scientists slice these cores into sections, analysing them in climate-controlled laboratories. They measure isotope ratios, gas concentrations, dust particles, volcanic ash layers. Each analysis reveals something new about past climates, past ecosystems, past conditions on Earth. In some ice cores, scientists have found pollen grains, blown thousands of miles by wind and preserved in the ice. These grains tell stories of ancient forests, of ecosystems that existed when the climate was different. They have found micrometeorites, tiny fragments of asteroids that burned up in Earth's atmosphere and drifted down onto Antarctic ice. These particles contain information about the solar system's composition and history. They have found evidence of massive volcanic eruptions from around the world, ash layers marking moments when supervolcanoes reshaped the planet. Let your mind wander through these discoveries like fingers trailing through water. The deepest ice contains the oldest memories. At the very bottom of the Antarctic ice sheet, ice more than 1 million years old may exist. Plans are underway to drill a core that reaches this ancient ice, to extend our direct knowledge of Earth's climate even further back in time. What will we learn from ice that formed when our ancestors were still evolving in Africa? What atmospheric conditions will we discover? What insights will we gain? The ice remembers everything, every breath of wind that deposited snow, every volcanic eruption that sent ash into the stratosphere, every fluctuation in cosmic ray intensity. every change in ocean circulation, all recorded in layers of frozen water. Antarctica is not just a place, it is a library, a vast archive of planetary history written in ice, waiting to be read. As you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself as a snowflake falling on Antarctic ice 100,000 years ago. Feel yourself settling onto the surface, joining countless other flakes. Feel the weight of new snow compressing you deeper year by year. Feel yourself becoming ice, becoming part of this vast frozen memory, preserved until some future scientist extracts your layer and reads the story you contain. Part 15. Deep Time Perspective. Let us step back now and consider Antarctica from the perspective of deep time, from the vantage point of millions and billions of years. 4 billion years ago, Earth was a molten world, still forming from the accretion disk around the young sun. No continents existed, no oceans, no life. The planet was a ball of magma, gradually cooling. Over hundreds of millions of years, the surface solidified. Water vapour condensed into oceans. Continents began to form from lighter rocks that floated on the denser mantle. Antarctica, in any recognisable form, did not yet exist. But the materials that would eventually form Antarctica were present, scattered across the forming crust. Feel yourself floating in these immense timescales, beyond human comprehension, beyond the ability to truly grasp. 3 billion years ago, the first simple life emerged in Earth's oceans. Single-celled organisms, ancestors to all life that would follow. The continents were barren rock. No plants, no animals, just stone and water and sky. The continents drifted on Earth's mantle, driven by convection currents deep below. They joined together, split apart, rejoined in different configurations. Supercontinents formed and broke apart in cycles lasting hundreds of millions of years. Let your breathing match this vast, slow rhythm. The continental drift, the patient movement of land masses across the globe. 600 million years ago, complex life exploded in diversity. The Cambrian explosion filled the oceans with bizarre creatures, the ancestors of modern animals. On land, the continents were still barren, but life was preparing to make the transition. 400 million years ago, plants colonized the land. Insects followed. Then vertebrates crawling from the water to claim the terrestrial realm. Antarctica, still drifting, still part of various supercontinents, hosted these early land ecosystems. Forests grew there, creatures lived there. Coal deposits formed from accumulated plant material, now buried deep beneath the ice. 300 million years ago, Antarctica was part of Gondwana. It was connected to South America, Africa, India, Australia, and New Zealand. A single vast landmass in the southern hemisphere. 200 million years ago, Gondwana began to break apart. The pieces drifted away from each other, opening ocean basins between them. Antarctica moved south, toward the pole. As it approached polar regions, the climate cooled. 50 million years ago, the first ice appeared. 34 million years ago, a permanent ice sheet formed in East Antarctica. 14 million years ago, the West Antarctic ice sheet formed. Picture this transformation over millions of years. The slow cooling, the gradual accumulation of ice, the forest dying back, replaced by glaciers, the animals migrating away or going extinct, the continent becoming white and barren. For the last 14 million years, Antarctica has been much as it is today. Frozen, isolated, silent. But 14 million years is brief in geological terms. It is a temporary condition. Antarctica has been many things and will be many things again. If we could watch Antarctica's history in time-lapse, we would see continents colliding and splitting, mountains rising and eroding, climates shifting from tropical to temperate to frozen, ice advancing and retreating, the land itself moving slowly northward or southward across the face of the planet. Feel yourself observing this vast dance of stone and ice and time, all tension leaving your body as you contemplate these immense scales. Billions of years from now, Earth will be very different. The sun will be brighter, pumping more energy into our planet. The oceans may boil away, life may end, but that is unimaginably far in the future. For now, Antarctica exists. The ice persists. The hidden landscapes wait beneath their frozen covering. And you exist too, in this moment, comfortable and relaxed, drifting towards sleep. Part 16. The Psychology of Mystery. Why are we drawn to mysteries like those of Antarctica? What is it about the unknown that calls to us so powerfully? Perhaps it is because mystery represents possibility. As long as something remains unknown, it can be anything. As long as Antarctica's depths remain unseen, they might contain wonders. Once fully explored and mapped, they can only be what they are. There is a bitter sweetness in discovery. We gain knowledge but lose possibility. Feel this tension dissolve as you relax more completely, accepting both knowledge and mystery as gifts. The human imagination is powerful. It fills empty spaces with stories. Where there are gaps in our knowledge, we create narratives. Ancient civilizations, secret bases, hidden entrances, advanced technology. These stories fulfill psychological needs. They allow us to believe that the world is more magical than it appears. They give us hope that great discoveries still await. They connect us to the long tradition of exploration and adventure that has driven human culture for millennia. Even as rational adults who understand that most of these stories are unlikely to be true, we can appreciate them for what they represent. The human capacity for wonder, for creativity, for refusing to accept that everything has been discovered. Let this appreciation fill you with warmth and peace. Antarctica serves as a screen onto which we project our deepest hopes and fears about the unknown. It represents the last frontier on Earth, the final unexplored region. When Antarctica is fully known, when every square mile has been mapped and surveyed, what then? Where will we direct our need for mystery and adventure? Perhaps to the oceans, which remain largely unexplored below their surfaces. Perhaps to space, to the planets and moons of our solar system, to distant stars and galaxies beyond. The human need for frontier and mystery will always find somewhere to focus. We are an exploring species. We push boundaries. We seek what lies beyond the next horizon. Antarctica reminds us of this essential quality. In its ice and mystery, we see reflected our own nature as beings who quest and wonder. Let this recognition settle over you like a soft blanket. There is also something comforting about knowing that mysteries remain. In a world that increasingly feels completely known, completely mapped, completely documented on the internet, Antarctica represents genuine secrets. Things we do not know, places we have not seen, possibilities that remain open. This is valuable. The human soul needs mystery the way it needs beauty and truth. We are diminished in a world where everything is known, explained, categorized, and filed away. Antarctica preserves the unknown for us. It keeps alive the possibility of surprise and discovery, and for this perhaps we should be grateful, even as we work to uncover its secrets. Feel your gratitude now, for mystery, for wonder, for all the things that remain to be discovered. Part 17. Personal Journeys to Antarctica. Though most of us will never visit Antarctica personally, we can travel there in imagination. Let us take such a journey now, experiencing the continent through the mind's eye. You're on a ship crossing the Drake Passage between South America and Antarctica. The water is rough, waves rise and fall, the ship pitches and rolls, but you stand on deck, wrapped in warm clothing, watching the seabirds that follow the vessel. The sky is grey, the air is cold, but there is excitement in your chest. You are approaching the last continent, the bottom of the world, the frozen frontier. Let yourself feel this excitement without tension, a calm anticipation. After 2 days of sailing, you see ice, first small chunks floating in the water, then larger pieces, then icebergs, massive structures of sculpted ice drifting in the current. Each iceberg is unique. Some are pure white, others show bands of blue where compressed ice catches the light. Some are smooth and rounded, others are angular and sharp. All are beautiful in their stark simplicity. The ship moves between the icebergs, navigating carefully. You watch them pass, marvelling at these frozen giants. Then, on the horizon, you see land. Dark mountains rising from the sea, their peaks capped with snow, the Antarctic Peninsula, your first glimpse of the continent itself. Feel your heart swell with awe as you approach this legendary place. The ship finds a protected bay and anchors. You board a small inflatable boat with other passengers and guides. The boat motors toward shore, bouncing across small waves. As you near the rocky beach, you see penguins, dozens of them, standing on the shore or waddling up from the water. They regard your boat with curiosity but without fear. They have no predators on land and have not learned to fear humans. The boat beaches gently. You step out onto Antarctic soil. Your foot touches the continent. You have arrived. Take a moment to absorb this imagined experience. Feel yourself standing there, on the shore, breathing cold air, hearing the calls of penguins and the lap of water against stone. You walk carefully across the rocky beach. The ground is a mix of stone and ice. Patches of snow lie in sheltered areas. The penguins move around you, going about their business, occasionally stopping to observe these strange visitors. Beyond the beach, ice rises in cliffs and slopes. Glaciers descend from the mountains, flowing slowly toward the sea. The scale is overwhelming. The ice goes on forever, disappearing into the distance. You understand standing here why Antarctica captivates human imagination. It is unlike anywhere else. It exists outside normal human experience. It is beauty and danger combined, life and lifelessness intertwined. Let the majesty of this imagined landscape fill your awareness. You spend hours on shore, exploring as far as permitted, taking photographs, simply experiencing this unique environment. The cold seeps through your clothing, but you barely notice. You're fully present, fully engaged with this moment. Eventually you must return to the ship. You board the inflatable boat reluctantly, looking back at the shore, memorizing every detail. The ship moves to other locations along the peninsula. Each stop reveals new wonders. More penguins, seals lounging on ice floes, whales surfacing in the bay, their breath creating clouds of spray. One evening, you stand on deck watching the sun circle the horizon without setting. The Antarctic summer has begun. The light is constant. The ice glows with soft colour. Pink, orange, blue, purple. The palette shifts slowly as the sun makes its endless circuit. Feel yourself in this moment, experiencing the peace of perpetual twilight. On your last night, you see the aurora australis. Curtains of green light dance across the southern sky, shimmering and shifting. You watch for hours, barely able to comprehend that you are witnessing this phenomenon directly, not through photographs or videos. The aurora reflects off the ice, doubling the display. Green light above and below. You feel small, insignificant, blessed to witness this. Then the journey ends. The ship turns north, back towards South America. Antarctica recedes behind you. You stand at the rail, watching the continent disappear over the horizon, knowing you may never return, grateful beyond words to have been there even briefly. Let this gratitude fill you as you drift closer to sleep. Part 18. The silence beneath. In the hidden world, beneath Antarctic ice, silence reigns. No wind disturbs the air in subglacial caves. No rain falls. No animals call. Only the occasional drip of melting ice, the rare crack of shifting stone, the patient flow of water through ancient channels. Picture this silence now. Perfect. Complete. A silence so profound it becomes almost tangible. In the subglacial lakes, water lies still for centuries. No waves disturb the surface. No currents move the depths. The water is constant temperature, constant pressure, unchanging from one decade to the next. Only the microscopic life creates movement. Bacteria drifting slowly through the water, chemical processes proceeding at the pace of geology rather than biology. This is existence stripped to its essentials. Energy, matter, simple metabolic reactions, nothing more. Feel this simplicity calming your own mind, stripping away unnecessary complexity, leaving only peace. In the deepest ice, individual water molecules have been locked in place for hundreds of thousands of years. They do not move, they do not flow, they are frozen not just in temperature but in time, suspended in crystalline structure, waiting. What would it be like to be such a molecule? To exist without change, without motion for longer than civilizations endure? To simply be, without becoming? Perhaps there is a strange peace in such existence, an end to striving, an acceptance of stillness. Let this stillness enter your own body now. Feel your muscles releasing tension. Feel your breathing slowing. Feel yourself approaching the edge of sleep, that boundary between waking and dreams. In the silence beneath Antarctic ice, there is no past or future. There is only the eternal present. Time loses meaning in that darkness. A million years is the same as a day. Both are simply duration without content. We who live on the surface, caught in the flow of time, pulled always forward toward an uncertain future, might envy such timelessness, or fear it, or both. But tonight, you need not fear. You need only rest. Let the silence beneath Antarctica become your silence. Let the stillness become your stillness. Breathe slowly, in and out, in and out. Feel yourself sinking like a stone through water, descending peacefully through layers of consciousness, moving toward deep rest. The hidden world awaits, patient and eternal. It has waited millions of years. It can wait through your night of sleep and beyond. There is no hurry, no urgency, only the quiet unfolding of geological time. Let yourself merge with this timeless patience. Part 19. Dreams of Discovery. As you drift at the edge of sleep, imagine what it would mean to make a great discovery in Antarctica. To find something that changes human understanding. To uncover what has been hidden for so long. You are part of an expedition drilling through the ice. The drill descends deeper and deeper. 2,000 feet, 3,000, 4,000. The ice seems endless. But then suddenly the drill breaks through. It has reached a cavity, a space beneath the ice. The team lowers a camera into the opening. The images appear on screen. Everyone crowds around to see. At first, there is only darkness, but as the camera's lights illuminate the space, features become visible. This is no natural cave. The walls are too regular, too smooth. There are shapes that seem almost architectural. Your heart races. Could this be evidence of something built? Something created by intelligence? The camera moves forward, exploring the space. More features appear. Structures that cannot be natural. Geometric patterns. Right angles. Surfaces that show signs of working. But let your excitement be calm, peaceful. This is a dream of discovery, not a source of anxiety. The team makes plans to send down a probe, to collect samples, to investigate more thoroughly. But even now, in this first moment of revelation, you know that history has changed, that humanity's understanding of its past is about to be rewritten. Or perhaps the camera shows not structures but life, not microscopic bacteria but something more complex, creatures that have evolved in isolation beneath the ice. Animals unlike anything known to science. They move through the water of a subglacial lake, adapted to darkness, to cold, to pressure. Their forms are strange, beautiful, alien yet familiar. You watch them with wonder. Life has found a way. Even here, in the most unlikely place, evolution has crafted organisms that thrive. Let this vision of life's tenacity comfort you. Or perhaps the discovery is simpler, but no less profound. Perhaps the drill reveals a landscape perfectly preserved. Forests from millions of years ago frozen in place, every leaf and branch intact. A window into Earth's past, detailed beyond anything fossils could provide. Whatever the discovery, it brings meaning. It justifies all the effort, all the years of research, all the cold nights and dangerous conditions. In this moment of revelation, everything makes sense. Feel this sense of meaning filling you, even as you recognize that this is only imagination, only possibility. The truth is that we do not know what lies beneath Antarctic ice. We have theories and speculations and hopes, but ultimate certainty awaits future exploration, future drilling, future discovery. Perhaps in your lifetime such discoveries will be made. Perhaps not. Either way, the mystery enriches your present, giving you something to wonder about, to hope for, to imagine. And is that not enough? To have mysteries that inspire wonder, to have unknowns that feed imagination. Let these questions dissolve as you sink deeper into sleep. Part 20. The Ancient Legacy. As the mysteries of Antarctica tug at our imagination, we cannot ignore the allure of the past. What if there were civilizations that once flourished in this icy land? Civilizations so ancient, their stories have long been forgotten by time. Could the ice, in its cold silence, hold relics of cultures predating all that we know? Imagine this. Beneath the frozen landscape, buried beneath hundreds of meters of ice, lie the remnants of a long-lost city. It has been preserved, frozen in time, waiting for the day when we might uncover it. The stone structures, smooth yet weathered, are remarkably well preserved, untouched by the wear of centuries or the ravages of nature. As your mind drifts through this vision, Imagine walking through the streets of this ancient city. The air is crisp, the temperature unnaturally cold, but the buildings stand firm against the elements. There are faded murals on the walls depicting scenes of daily life, traders bartering with goods, farmers cultivating crops in some forgotten land where the climate was once warmer, families gathering around a fire. Perhaps the most striking feature is the architecture itself. It is unlike anything we know today, neither of the classical civilizations nor the ancient peoples of the Old World. Instead, these structures suggest a knowledge of geometry and design, far beyond what should be possible for a civilization that predates even our earliest known cultures. Could such a civilization have been lost to history due to the slow, inevitable changes in Earth's climate? Could they have vanished as the ice sheet expanded, slowly encasing their cities in an eternal tomb of ice? As you explore this city, you notice that much of the technology seems both familiar and strange. Tools and machines are unlike any we have ever uncovered, yet they seem functional, practical, built for everyday life. The materials used to construct these machines seem impervious to the ravages of time still gleaming even after thousands of years. Could they have had access to lost technologies that we have yet to discover or even conceive? Perhaps this city is not the only one. Perhaps there are more, hidden beneath the depths of Antarctica's vast ice sheet. Entire networks of cities, preserved in the frozen expanse, waiting for someone brave enough to venture deep into the unknown to uncover their secrets. As you ponder these thoughts, you feel the weight of the earth beneath you, and with it, the weight of history. The mysteries of Antarctica have become more than just tales of the unknown. They are invitations to explore the farthest reaches of human possibility. Could our ancestors have known more than we do? Could the answers to the greatest questions we ask about our origins, about advanced technology, about the fate of civilizations, be buried under these ice sheets? The silence beneath Antarctica now feels less like emptiness, and more like the quiet of something waiting to be found. Time has preserved it, just as it preserves all things in its quiet march, but soon perhaps someone will break through that ice, uncovering fragments of a forgotten age. Maybe one day, we will know the truth about who came before us. Feel a sense of awe settle deep within you as you absorb the enormity of such a discovery. Feel the weight of the past pressing gently against the present, reminding you that history is not just what we know, it is also what we have yet to uncover. Part 21. The Unanswered Questions. Despite all that we can imagine about what lies beneath Antarctica's ice, there remain questions that are beyond our reach. What was the true nature of these ancient peoples, if they existed at all? Why was such a vast and advanced civilization, if it was truly advanced, relegated to a fate so extreme, so isolated, that their existence could be lost to history? Perhaps they were a culture that experienced a cataclysmic event, a shift in Earth's climate, a sudden global cooling that forced them into a harsh, uninhabitable environment. Or perhaps they were explorers, venturing into the depths of the Earth in search of new territories, only to become trapped in the ice as time passed and the climate shifted. There are those who believe that the knowledge of this civilization might still lie hidden in places beyond the reach of conventional exploration. Perhaps there are still tunnels, vast underground chambers, or even cities deep within the ice, inaccessible to even the most advanced technology of our time. Could these places hold the key to understanding our own history? Could the ancient peoples of Antarctica have known something that we have since forgotten? And what about the other mysteries? Those that lie beyond the ice in the depths of the surrounding oceans. Some scientists have speculated that beneath the icy depths of the Antarctic Ocean, ancient ruins long submerged might be waiting to be uncovered. Could the answers to the questions of lost civilizations be found in these forgotten depths? The silence of Antarctica's frozen landscape does not simply speak of a lost past. It also speaks of all the unanswered questions that remain. It beckons us to wonder what might still be hidden, what might still be waiting for us to discover, and it challenges us to consider how much we still don't know about the world around us. As you reflect on this, take a deep breath and let the mystery settle within you. Feel the curiosity that comes with knowing that there are still unknowns in the world. Allow this curiosity to fuel your sense of wonder. Part 22. A call to exploration. Perhaps it is this mystery, this insatiable human drive to explore the unknown, that defines us as a species. Throughout history, we have ventured into uncharted lands, seeking answers to questions we didn't even know we had. From the age of exploration, when sailors braved unknown seas, to the race to the moon, humanity has always been driven by a sense of adventure, a desire to pierce the veil of mystery and discover what lies beyond. And Antarctica, with its ancient ice and whispered secrets, represents the pinnacle of this quest. It is the final frontier on Earth, a place where the known meets the unknown in a dramatic dance of science and speculation. The possibilities of what might still lie beneath the ice are endless. A lost civilization, ancient artifacts, new forms of life, or even the answers to questions about Earth's history that we have long since stopped asking. But it is not just the potential discoveries that call to us. It is the very act of exploration itself. The journey to Antarctica, whether physical or mental, is a return to the heart of human nature. We are not satisfied with the world as we find it. We seek to go further, to uncover the unknown, to stretch our understanding beyond its current limits. Let this realization fill you with excitement, as you recognize that this drive to explore is something that resides deep within you. It is the same impulse that led explorers to the farthest reaches of the Earth, that sent astronauts to the moon, that propels scientists and adventurers to uncover the deepest mysteries of our planet. Feel this connection to the explorers of the past and the explorers of the future, knowing that you too are part of this grand tradition of discovery. You are part of the human story, a story of wonder, curiosity, and the endless pursuit of knowledge. As you reflect on this, let yourself feel the pull of adventure, the desire to explore the unknown, to understand the world in ways you never have before. There are still mysteries to be uncovered, still frontiers to be explored, and the call to adventure will always remain. And perhaps, just perhaps, some of those mysteries still lie beneath the icy plains of Antarctica, waiting to be discovered by the next generation of explorers. Let that thought carry you into deeper rest, knowing that you are part of a long and wondrous tradition of seeking, exploring, and discovering. The mysteries of the world are still waiting for you, and they always will.